Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is Ehsan, and in today's video we're going to look at another IELTS reading test. It is better for you to have this book in front of you, IELTS Cambridge 15. We're going to solve test 2, reading passage 2, and of course it's better for you to have a pencil and take notes while watching this video and turn off any distractor such as your cell phone to have your full concentration. In this video I'm going to do something new for you guys. First, based on the question types and the passage, I'm going to give you a strategy to how to deal with this reading test, and you can even pause the video and after that solve it by yourself, then check your answers with me. This is about the exam techniques that I'm going to give you, how you're going to think during your exam. This is a really great idea to have so much discipline in your mind to get the real mindset for your exam. Okay, how to deal with this kind of test and questions in order, and of course have a smile on your face and have a positive feelings. This is really great idea, especially during your IELTS exam. But before we get started, if you're new here, please give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button and also the notification bell, so whenever I upload a new video you'll be aware of it. Let's jump into it. So as always, I'm going to split the page into two halves. On the left hand side you're going to see the passage, and on the right hand side you can see the questions relating to this passage. So again, what is the title of this passage? It's about, should we try to bring extinct species back to life? Extinct species back to life. This is about extinction and how we can get them back to life. For example, dinosaurs. Can we get dinosaurs back to life? Something like that. And this is questions. Now we're going to look at the questions, but before we start solving the questions, I'm going to give you a strategy how to deal with these kind of questions and how to get your mindset. Question 14 till 17. It's about something like a paragraph matching. Which paragraph contains the following information? We have 6 paragraphs from A to F, and here we have 4 questions. And notice that here you may use any letter more than once. Be careful about that. So this is some difficult question types that we're going to choose to put it at the end. We can just highlight the keywords but put it at the end, and I will tell you why. Question 18 to 22, no more than 2 words. No more than 2 words. Okay. Which means that you can use either 2 words or 1 word. So it's paragraph completion sentences, and this is really pretty straightforward and easy ones to start with. You're just going to look at the first keywords in the paragraph. For example, you can choose woolly mammoth. You can look for woolly mammoth or Professor George Church. These are a great keywords to start with for questions 18 to 22. This is a great way to start your reading test. How about questions 23 till 26? For these question types, this is about matching a statement with the person in the box. Question 23 to 26. It is not as hard as the first question types, 14 till 17. You just had to, the questions and answers are not in the same order. You had to look for the list of the people in the passage and then choose if the statements match with this or not. Just highlight the keywords and find that. So what is the strategy that I told you? So we're going to start our reading test. Step 1. Start with questions 18 till 23. The paragraph completion, okay? 18 till 23 and 18 till 22. 18 till 22, and look for let me just give you, look for woolly mammoth. Or George Church, okay? Look for this. You're just gonna look for these keywords, and the questions and answers are in order. So when you find these keywords, you're gonna answer all of the questions. This is step 1 for your reading test, okay? Then in step 2, just highlight keywords in questions 14 till 17, okay? And at the same time, go through the previous paragraph answer. You're probably going to find a paragraph relating to this question. So when you highlight the keywords from 14 till 17, you maybe match this paragraph to one of these questions and maybe not. And in both directions, you eliminate one paragraph, even if you don't find your answer in there. So at the end, you have an easy job to do, to choose between 5 paragraphs instead of 6 paragraphs, okay? So this is a great idea. Now, step 3, go through questions, as I told you already, questions, which one? 23 till 26. And highlight the keywords, and focus on the person's name, okay? Focus on the person's name. And there is something at the same time, bear that on your mind, the keywords from 14 till 17, okay? As you go through these questions, bear that on your mind, those keywords relating to questions 14 till 17, okay? Now, the step 4 and the final step is that now go through questions 14 till 17 and try to find your answers between the remained paragraph. And what do I mean by that? You choose some of the paragraphs relating to the questions 18 till 26, okay? Now you try to find your answers for these questions between the remained paragraph, not the previous month. And maybe they have something in common, but most probably you're gonna find some of them from the remained paragraph that you will not answer. You will not find any answers from questions 18 till 26. So this is a great strategy for you guys. Bear that on your mind. And now we're gonna start answering these questions with this method. So I'm gonna start with questions 18 till 22. And first, look for woolly mammoth or George Church. Okay, woolly mammoth or George. This George Church is with capital letters, so maybe this is the easiest ones to look for. Okay, George Church. And actually at the same time you can find these names, but it is better to focus on just one keyword at the beginning. Don't make yourself confused. Okay, so George Church, where it is? George Church. This is Ben Novak. No. And here we have Michael Archer. Maybe, I don't know, George Church. It seems that each paragraph contains one scientist. Santa Cruz. Again, Novak, not George Church. According to Novak, again, here. This is George Church. And again, woolly mammoth. Ta-da! So this is paragraph E relating to these questions. So Professor George Church and his team are trying to identify the what, which enabled mammoths to leave the tundra. Leave the tundra. Okay, identify. Try to identify. So here, professor at Harvard and leader of blah 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 has been focusing on cold resistance. Remember, no more than 2 words. Focusing could be, I don't know, maybe cold resistance, maybe. Just be careful. Which enabled mammoths to leave the tundra. The main way in which the extinct woolly mammoth and its nearest living relative, the Asian, differ by pinpointing which genetic traits made it possible for mammoths to survive the icy climate of tundra. To survive the icy climate of tundra is related to this, to leave the tundra. Enabled mammoths to leave the tundra. So, and identify, this one, meaning that pinpointing, by pinpointing which genetic traits. So genetic traits is going to be your answer. Genetic traits. This is the answer for question 18. Okay, here we go. Now question 19. According to Church, introducing Asian elephants to the tundra would involve certain physical adaptations to minimize, focusing on this, minimize on what? So the project's goal is to return mammoths or a mammoth-like species to the area. My highest priority would be preserving the endangered Asian elephants, says Church, expanding their range to the huge ecosystem of the tundra. Necessary adaptations would include a smaller ears, thicker hair, and extra insulating fat, all for the purpose of reducing heat loss. Reducing, minimize. Reducing what? Reducing heat loss. Again, you can use 2 words. Heat loss in the tundra and all traits found in the now extinct woolly mammoth. So, to minimize heat loss, to survive in the tundra, the species would need to have the mammoth-like features. Mammoth-like features. I think we already seen this. Mammoth-like features. Yes, here. You see, sometimes they try to confuse you by changing the order of the answers, or a mammoth-like species to the area. Here it says features of thicker hair. Yes, here. About ears, something like include smaller ears, thicker hair. Okay, this is it. Dash of a reduced size. So a smaller ears, reduced sized ears of a reduced size. You see how they change the structure. And more what? A smaller ears, thicker hair, and extra insulating fat, extra. Extra means more, and more insulating fats. So this is the answer for this question, 21. And the last question, which could help to reduce temperatures and focusing on and decrease what? Reduce temperature. So here, this repopulation of the tundra and boreal forest of Shura and Nor and blah blah blah. Where is it? Where is reduced temperature? It's complete obvious ones. This grass growth would reduce temperatures. You see here, reduce temperatures is obvious. And mitigate. Mitigate means decrease. Mitigate emissions. That's it. If you follow my IELTS keyword table, you're going to easily find words like this. Decrease and mitigate are just paraphrasing, okay? They use a lot of this paraphrasing in IELTS, okay? Now, we have finished our first step. Now, I'm going to just highlight the keywords from this question. Just highlight the keywords. A reference to how further disappearance of multiple species could be avoided. This avoiding is something interesting because disappearance of multiple species is about extinction. All the passage is about extinction. It's about extinct species. Okay? Could be avoided. How could be avoided? Explanation of a way of reproducing an extinct animal using the DNA. DNA is really great to look for and pretty easy ones to look for. Which paragraph? Reference to a habitat which has suffered following the extinction of a species. Mention of the exact point at which a particular species became extinct. It's really easy ones to look for. Exact point means the exact date or exact place. Maybe they put some numbers in it on that paragraph, and really easy ones to look for. Okay. Now, in this paragraph that we already done this, is there anything about avoiding extinction? No. Is there anything, any numbers relating to exact point? No. Is there anything about habitat or maybe I don't know, anything and that they live, any place that they live? No. About DNA? No. So paragraph E is eliminated. You see? Now, when I come back to these, answer these questions, I'm going to eliminate, you see, eliminate paragraph E. Just not E, relating to these four. So you now have 4 questions to answer and only 5 paragraphs left with. You had to choose between A, B, C, D, or F. Just these ones for these questions. Okay? Elimination is really helpful. And now you know what are the keywords relating to these questions. Okay? Maybe on the next answers you can find any paragraph relating to these questions. Okay, now here we go. 23 till 26. We have some statements and this list of people to match, and you may use any letter more than once. You have 4 questions and 3 people. Okay. Reintroducing an extinct species to its original habitat could improve the health of a particular species living there. The health, something related to health. And again, original habitat. Habitat doesn't bring a bell. You already choose habitat here for the keyword, and maybe if you find the answer to this question, you can answer that question as well. So be careful about that. But here for 23, health is a really standing keyword for this question. Health, something related to health. They could talk about illness. They could talk about cancer, about tumor, about some disease. I don't know, anything related to health. You had to have this mindset for you, because they always paraphrase it. Okay, this is the kind of paraphrasing for health. It is important to concentrate on the causes of an animal's extinction. Concentrate on the causes of animals extinction. Again, animals extinction, the whole passage is about animal extinction. Concentrate on the causes. A species brought back from extinction could have an important beneficial impact on the vegetation of its habitat. Vegetation of its, again, vegetation is a really easy keywords to look for, and again, habitat, maybe this one as well, habitat, I don't know, but here vegetation is the first keyword to look for, and here is health is the great keyword to look for. Our current efforts, this is a great point that I'm gonna notice you. Our current efforts, when they talked about something currently, nowadays, today, or maybe solution of the problem, they probably in the most cases, I emphasize that, not always, but in most probable way, our current efforts relate to something about related to the last paragraph of the passage. Probably. I said more than 90% of the time in IELTS exam. Okay, this is related to the last paragraph. This is a great point to notice. Our current efforts at preserving biodiversity, meaning that bringing extinct animals back to life, okay, are insufficient. Now, you have some keywords: health, concentrate on causes, vegetation, our current efforts. These are just these keywords, focusing on these keywords. You cannot fool your head more than these keywords, okay? It's gonna make you confused. And here are the list of people: Ben Novak, Michael Archer, Beth Shapiro. And as you can see, in paragraph E, you have George Church. So nothing about this paragraph. You can eliminate paragraph E for these questions as well. You're not going to find anything in there. And I already go through this passage and find some of these people. Let me just highlight them. Ben Novak, and here I have Michael Archer, Beth Shapiro, again here Novak says, or Novak adds something according to Novak. You see, this is a great practice, guys. Try to look for these names, because you had to scan your reading and find these wells. This is a great practice for your reading. Okay, now where should I start? There are multiple places for these persons. Maybe with this technique, with this, I already told you our current efforts at preserving biodiversity are insufficient. Maybe with this note, you can start with the last paragraph, because one of the names are in the last paragraph, maybe. But this is really up to you. You can start with the beginning of the passage, no problem with that. I just start with this one, Shapiro. Maybe find something related to this person, Shapiro, Beth Shapiro. Okay? While the prospect, be careful, while is an important vocabulary to notice. Be careful about while, but, whereas, however, nevertheless. These kind of vocabulary help you sometimes. Again, more than 80% of the time, you can find the answer after this important vocabulary. While the prospect of bringing extinct animals back to life, as I told you, this is mean preserving biodiversity. might capture imaginations, it is of course far easier to try to save an existing species. Again, I told you, just these keywords, health, concentrate on the causes, vegetation, not this one here, not for now, okay? Not for now. And I will come back to it later. And our current efforts are insufficient. And you already have these on your mind. Something could be avoided. DNA, habitat, exact point. You see? You have this on your mind. And be careful. Here it says, far easier to try to save an existing species which is merely threatened with extinction. It's completely obvious that it is avoid something to save an existing species which is merely threatened with extinction. Here it says that a reference to how further disappearance of multiple species, which means extinction of animals, could be avoided, while the prospect of bringing extinct animals back to life might capture imaginations. It's of course far easier to try to save an existing species. It's completely meaning that this sentence, and they paraphrase it actually. They paraphrase it. So I'm going to choose paragraph F for this question. You see, I'm looking for the other questions, but highlighting a keyword helped me to find the answer for this question. Okay? Okay. Now, back to these questions. And here, again, the rest, maybe I will find in the rest. Here is the statement. Many of the technologies that people have in mind when they think about de-extinction can be used as a form of genetic rescue, explains Shapiro. She prefers to focus the debate on how this emerging technology could be used to fully understand. Be careful. She prefers to focus. They already find this one. Concentrate on the causes. Focus, causes. Maybe, I don't know. The paraphrasing. The debate on how this emerging technology could be used to fully understand why various species, it's reasoning. It's about why. It's causes of something when you use why various species went extinct in the first place. So concentrate on the causes of an animal's extinction. For 24, I'm going to choose Shapiro because of this one. This is completely obvious that question 24 relating to this statement in here. So Shapiro, C for this one. You just had to write C, A, B, or C. Question 24. Okay. And therefore, how we could use it to make genetic modifications which could prevent mass extinctions in the future. Okay. I would also say there is an incredible moral hazard to not do anything at all. Not do anything at all. Avoiding. Again, something related to avoiding. She continues, we know that what we are doing today, I told you today, is not enough. It's pretty obvious. Is not enough or insufficient. Again, they paraphrase it. And if you familiarize yourself with my IELTS keyword table, you can easily find this paraphrasing. Not enough and insufficient. Our current efforts today, what we are doing today, is not enough. So completely obvious that 26 is again related to C. 26 is C. Okay, we already answered 2 out of these 4 questions just by reading this paragraph and 1 question from the question 14 till 17. Okay, great. Now paragraph F, paragraph E, and the rest. I don't know. Maybe Novak in here. We have Novak. We have again Beth Shapiro. It is less probable that again we have Beth Shapiro. Probably we're going to choose A and B for 23 and 25. It is really less likely to again choose C. How about Ben Novak? Ben Novak, you can just find a statement relating to this person, and again you can have it in your mind, these keywords. You just have left with DNA, habitat, exact point. That's it. Okay. Now for Ben Novak, the passenger pigeon was a legendary species flying in vast numbers across North America with potentially many millions within a single flock. Their migration was once one of nature's great spectacles. Sadly, the passenger pigeon's existence came to an end on 1 September 1914. This is the exact point, and you can find it. This is the exact date, and that's the only place that they use dates in the whole passage. If you remember, mention of the exact point at which a particular species became extinct. You just have it, but maybe the rest will help you. Just be patient. Okay. When the last living specimen died at Cincinnati Zoo. Genetics Ben Novak is lead researcher on an ambitious project which now aims to bring the bird back to life through a process known as de-extinction. What are we looking for these persons? Just health and vegetation, just these ones. The basic premise involves using cloning technology to turn the DNA. Does it ring the bell? Yes, of course, DNA. We already have DNA on the first questions of extinct animals into a fertilized embryo. Fertilized. What is it about fertilized? Here it says that explanation of a way of reproducing an extinct animal using the DNA of only that species. Reproducing, fertilize. DNA. Completely obvious that this one is paragraph A. And again, health, vegetation, which is carried by the nearest relative still in existence, in this case, the abundant band-tailed pigeon before being born. As a living, breathing animal, passenger pigeons are one of the pioneering species in this field, but they are far from the only ones on which this cutting-edge technology is being trialed. So, how about this one? Exact point, mention of the exact point at which a particular species, it's all of it is talk about particular species becoming extinct. So, 17 is A. So, we already done this. Reading this, we cannot find the answer from for 23 and 25, but we're going to find another answers actually if you choose your keywords wisely. Okay, so Michael Archer, the statement, there is no carnivore now in Samnia that fills the niche which techniques once occupied, explained Michael Archer of the university, blah blah blah. He points out that in the decades since the thylacine went extinct, there has been a spread in a dangerously debilitating facial tumor syndrome. Okay. Now here we have something relating to health, which threatens of existence of the Samnia devils, the island's other notorious resident. Then it would have prevented this spread because they would have killed significant numbers of Samnia devils if that contagious cancer, again relating to health, had popped up previously. So it's completely obvious that this reintroducing an extinct species to its original habitat could improve the health of a particular species living there. 23 is Michael Archer, which is B. But something about habitat, because we already have habitat on the question, where was I? Question 16. Maybe we find something related to this, I don't know. Just we have left 16 and 25. Had popped up previously, it would have burned out in whatever region it started. The return of insomnia could help to ensure that devils are never again subjected to risks of this kind. I cannot find something about habitat, I don't know. Maybe on the next statement. Here it says something about vegetation. Okay, vegetation. Best Shapiro, I think we could skip this one. This is less likely because you already read paragraph, you already choose 2 out of 4 for C, and probably this 25 is A. If you're out of time, you choose A now. And here, these are the statements relating to Novak. Okay. Explains Novak when it comes to breeding, band-tailed pigeons scatter and make maybe 1 or 2 nests. 1 of 2 or 2 nests. Nests is something related to habitat per hectare, whereas passenger pigeons were very social and would make 10,000 or more nests in 1 hectare. Since the disappearance of these key species, ecosystems in the eastern US have suffered as the lack of disturbance caused by thousands of passenger pigeons wrecking trees and branches. Vegetation. Yes, of course. 25 is A, and for nest, reference to a habitat which has suffered. It says exact word, suffered, following the extinction of a species. So this one is paragraph D actually. So we actually skip the last step because we already find the answers relating to this. But as you can see, before this ones, we already choose paragraph E eliminated. We already use paragraph E, D, not C, B, and just we never use A and C when we are facing the last questions. If you answer none of these, you just left with A and C. So probably as you can see, 2 out of 4 is A for this question. So this is a really great tip for you guys. If you put this at the end, you most probably find the exact paragraph for your answers. But as you can see, highlighting keywords and bear that on your mind. If you have that concentration, you can find these questions between the other questions. I hope this was helpful for you guys, and I again emphasize that this is just tips and strategies to help you find the answer easily, to deal with this kind of problems. But this is a reading test. You had to make more effort for your vocabulary, for your paraphrasing, and in the total sense, reading comprehension. This is really important if you want above 7. But with these tips, I think 6.5 or even 7 is achievable for IELTS reading. That's enough with these tips and strategies. But these tips and strategies, with a lot of repetition, you had to practice them by yourself, not just watching my videos. You had to practice by yourself. This is really important. Okay guys, I hope you like this video. If that's the case, please give me a thumbs up, share this video with your friend. I will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.